Okay, I think we're live.
Never plugged in my microphone.
Yep, we're live, it looks like. Yep, alright. So, in this live stream, we're going to be fixing some RC cars that I broke over the weekend. First one is this red Slash VXL. I stripped the spur gear, I think, so I'm pretty sure I got the part for it. But I'm just going to make sure that I actually strip the spur gear first. This should be a really quick and easy fix. This one stripped, well, let me backtrack a little bit. I wanted to film a video with this one at night, but that didn't happen. This spur gear stripped 5 minutes into the video. And actually, I didn't even start filming the video, actually. I just found a little set screw on my workbench. I have no clue what that's for. Huh. Well, we'll find out. Oh. I think I might know what this is for. I think that might actually be off my Stampede, which is the other car I broke. I think I stripped out the rear differential, so what could I really, because a while, maybe like a week ago, I switched the gearing in it to do another video that is coming out in a little bit. I think in like 3 weeks maybe. But after that video, I put the Stampede back to a 9-tooth pinion, which is what I usually run. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I ever put that set screw back on the pinion. So who knows? Maybe I just stripped the spur gear or something. But it didn't sound like that. It sounded like metal on metal contact, which I'll show you guys later. And if audio is not so bad, well, if audio is bad, I should say, I'm sorry, because I'm storage charging some batteries behind me, and the Traxxas charger is not the quietest in the world. So, if you're wondering what that fan noise is, it's the charger. Sorry if that just stream was like a little bit last minute too. I kind of just threw it together. Figured you guys want to see some more streams, so figured I might as well turn the camera on and show you guys what I'm up to. Oh yeah, so that spur gear is stripped. Actually, it's not. Okay, maybe a little bit actually. Sorry, it's out of the camera for a sec. Just trying to get a good eye at this. It's actually not stripped at all, really. I mean, there's some shavings in there, but it wasn't even moving before. Like, okay, that's weird. Like, I would hit the gas and it didn't move at all. There's still plenty of teeth on it. I'm trying to get it there. I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but there's still plenty of teeth on the spur gear. There's really no reason why it wasn't moving. I'm gonna get a battery and let's test it out, see if it works this time. I don't really know. Yeah, because it sounded and acted just like a spur gear stripped out on it. So I really don't know what's going on now. I'm just going to mock this tire on here. See what's going on. Okay, what the? I wonder if it's a gear in the transmission. Well, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, that's definitely a gear in the transmission. I don't think it's the diff. Yeah, the internal gears of the diff are fine. Okay, well, I really don't want to rip that apart right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this on the table behind me because I really don't feel like working on that right now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Diff. Well, it's not the internal gears of the diff because that's still smooth. Like, that's perfectly fine. It could be the idle gear, that center gear, or the ring gear of the diff. So, and the spur gear does show a little bit of wear on the teeth right up here, but might be a pin that coming out of one of the gears in the transmission that I might brush there to outer ring this gear possibly. Yeah, it's definitely one of the gears in the trans, which really was not what I was hoping. I really thought it was a spur gear, because now I'm gonna have to buy a transmission gear on top of the gear that's broken my Stampede 4x4, which I'm gonna get right now, and then we can work on that. Okay, so with the Stampede 4x4, I think it's the rear diff. It just does not sound healthy. I mean, I guess it could be like, okay, so the internal gears are fine on the front and rear, so it's not that. It could be the spur gear. It could be pinion gear, because I don't know what that set screw is for that I just found on my workbench at the start of the stream. So let's see. I'm pulling the gear cover off. Okay, well the spur gear is pretty ka-chowed. There is a set screw in the pinion gear. Okay, so that's a good sign. I didn't forget the set screw. This might just be an extra one that I never put away in my parts bin. Yeah, I think that was just an extra one. So, I mean, the spur gear's definitely beat up. I'm gonna have to replace that. Maybe it's not the diff. I don't know. The diff on this is really easy to get to, so we're just gonna tear it apart and see what's going on. Pinion gear could be slid and be hitting on the set screw and hitting the spur. Well, the set screw's in there and the pinion gear isn't loose either. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so that's probably why the spur gear stripped. Okay, so that's why the spur gear stripped, but something still don't feel right. It could still just be a spur gear though. Because, I mean, I've had a spur gear go out on this car before, and the sounds that it was making sounded nothing like the spur gear, missing teeth and all that. So, that's why I'm thinking it's the diff. And I've had probably 3 diffs go out in this car, and that's why I upgraded the Traxxas spiral cut ring and pinions. And that's what I'm running right now, but if one's broken, I'm gonna have to replace it, which is kind of disappointing because it's an upgraded part. They're super, super beefy. And they're $40 for the front and then $40 for the rear. So $80 for the set. I just threw my screwdriver at me. Do you guys want me to do more live streams? I definitely can. Might be able to start doing one probably every Sunday if I have anything to work on. I'm gonna try to do live streams every time I have something to work on, because I know that a lot of you guys do love them. Okay, so yeah, spur gear is definitely toast, as you guys can see right there. Yeah. So gonna have to replace that, but I'm just gonna set that off to the side, and let's tear into this diff. Okay, that's smooth. That don't make any sense. Maybe it was just a spur gear, because that's smooth. Yeah, that's fine. The front diff on my Stampede is on its way out. That's a bummer. I would, if you, well, yeah, you have the Stampede 4x4, otherwise you wouldn't have a front diff. I would definitely upgrade to the spiral cut Traxxas ring and pinions. If you get the ones for the front, you have to get the ones for the rear though, because it's a faster gear ratio than stock. And if you just upgrade one, then the front would be spinning at a faster rate than the rear, and that can lead to other issues like hotter temps and all that. So I really would recommend it. So yeah, they hold up so much better than the stock ones. But I don't know if I actually have to tear, because that's smooth. I'm not going to tear apart the rear, because if it was actually stripped, it'd be making a lot more noise and not be spinning this smooth. So yeah, that one's fine. Now fronts, that clicking is just the center grab one, so that's fine. Yeah, that's smooth. So that's a big relief. Didn't kill the diff. Only the spur gear. Which is weird because it made a lot of noise. I think I have more of those. This is a 54 tooth. Let me check my parts bin. Yeah, I got one right here. So I'm gonna swap this out. Yeah, I probably just stripped the spur gear because that pinion gear wasn't all the way on. So that was my mistake. Yeah, I better start mowing more lawns. This car really isn't in the need of a rebuild. I might just rebuild it this winter. It's been probably a year or two since I've rebuilt it. I like to rebuild all my cars at least once a year, usually in the winter because I don't use them in the winter. So I just use that time to do all the maintenance that I need to do. Do a once over on them, clean everything, and get them ready for the next season. I can't get this off. I can never get this thing off because it's kind of bent. The shaft that the spur gear and all this clutch assembly sits on, it's kind of like deformed around this outdrive for the center drive line, so it just makes it a pain to take on and off. My Stampede 4x4 is in the need of a rebuild also. Yeah, same with mine. I mean, as long as you maintain your trucks, they will. I mean, you could get by with doing a rebuild a lot less frequent. But if you just put it back on the shelf dirty and all that, which I'll admit I do sometimes, but. Oh my god, I can't get this. What center drive line are you running? Techno RC. It's their big bone center drive line. So much better than stock. Never had an issue with it. It's pretty affordable too. I think it's like $30 when I got it at least. There we go. So this is why it's so hard to get off. It's because where the set screw goes in, the bearing just fell off. Where the set screw goes into this drive cup right here, it like deformed the metal for the shaft, and it's not perfectly like a circle shape. So I just have to like force it on and off. I probably should get a new one of these at some point, but it ain't broke, so why fix it? So that's that. That's bearing. I don't know if I have to take the whole clutch off. All these screws are super loose for some reason. Yeah, I do. Okay. You could sand the shaft down. I would do that, but I don't know if it would if I do it wrong, it could affect how the drive dog for the center drive line mounts, and I don't really want to affect that, so. Okay, that was tight. One issue that I do have a lot with the slipper on my Stampede is it coming loose a lot. Like if I don't put a ton of Loctite on this nut, it just comes loose, and then it has no power. kind of annoying. Because I usually don't put any Loctite on that nut on any other car. And it works just fine, so. Oh, snap, I'm tightening. Didn't even realize. What's up, Nick? Just doing some wrenching on my Stampede. Another thing I don't understand about Traxxas, literally this is the only 8mm nut on this entire car. So I have to keep this wrench around just for this occasion. Because I don't have like a driver or anything that's an 8mm. Oh, wait, I actually do. I have one right here. Okay, well, the issue with this one, I think, yeah, if it's all the way down, like if the nut is all the way down, I don't think the barrel on it's long enough to reach the whole thing, so I could use this for the rest of the way. Oh yeah, that's so much better. But yeah, like, why couldn't they just make this a 7mm nut? Just don't understand Traxxas sometimes. I got mad at my Stampede 4x4 slipper coming loose, so I tightened it all the way and glued the slipper pads. That's some dedication right there, I'll admit. Probably not something I would do, but it's pretty funny. So now I'm just taking this center bearing out. And I know that a lot of my viewers like seeing the Armored Granite. It's not mine, it's my friends. I know a lot of people that watch my channel love that car. And I just filmed 2 videos of it over the weekend. I just have to edit them. They'll probably be up in a few weeks. I'm trying to do like a video a week. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm just trying to do a video a week because work and school is going to be starting, and I don't really want to have a big change in my upload schedule. So but yeah, I just filmed 2 videos of the Granite yesterday, actually. And one thing about the Granite that I really do like is how it drives. Like, compared to my Stampede 4x4, we drove them side by side. Not in a video, but we did drive them side by side in the same exact area. The Granite just handles so much better. It was real, like, rocky. It was it's a gravel pile, basically. But it also had, like, some soft spots and flat spots to it. And the Granite just handled so much better. The Stampede, it was just kind of, alright, I'm going to try to go this way. I'm going to miss the jump, but then you gotta, like, turn around, and it's definitely not as fun with the Stampede. My friend converted his Granite to 6S, and it's insane. Jeez, 6S with a Granite. I mean, just 4S. I mean, 2S on a Granite. A 2S. Okay, so my friend, it's his first real RC car. His first hobby grade one was a Helion Invictus, which just ran on like a nickel metal hydride battery. It was slow. It could barely go straight. The turning radius was awful. So he wanted a new RC. I told him to get the Armored Granite because I mean, it's a great truck, so great beginner truck too, and it's very affordable. So I recommend. I told him like, hey, if you want something that's gonna be durable and all that, get the Granite. So he did, and he just runs it on 2S. I mean, that thing on 2S is almost. No, not really. The Granite on 2S, stock gearing and everything, his truck is all stock still to this day, and he's had it for months. A 2S Granite is almost as fast as a Stampede 4x4, my Stampede 4x4 at least, on 3S. And keep in mind, I have the upgraded diffs, which make it faster than stock. So mine's already geared up. And him having just a stock truck on 2S, I mean, technically the Traxxas says it will go 65 on 3S with the high speed gearing. I put the high speed gearing, this isn't a video coming out, I put the high speed gearing in 17 tooth pinion on 3S. I couldn't even hold full throttle. It would just wheelie, and I had a wheelie bar on. So I don't know how Traxxas is getting that speed out of this truck, because I didn't even get close. And you guys will see that in the video. That was actually a really fun video to film. So now I'm just putting the slipper clutch back together. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this other tool. I think my Stampede 4x4 motor would melt on the high-speed gear. I mean, you really don't want to run the high-speed gearing for more than like a few passes, which is what I did, because it gets hot. I mean, I probably did 5 passes at full throttle. Well, not even full throttle, I couldn't even get up to that. Let's say I did 5 passes, 10 seconds each. Sorry, my phone's working. 5 passes, 10 seconds each. So not even a full minute of actually driving the car. I mean, it got pretty hot on high speed gearing, so that's why you shouldn't just bash that daily. So you would definitely melt the motor and other parts probably. Alright, that all looks good. You know what? Every once in a while I do, so here's a little trick. If you get a drill and then put the slipper shaft in it, you can see if it's bent or not. Mine is bent a little bit. Alright, well that's something I'm gonna have to buy. So as you can see, mine's bent. Well, I'm just gonna leave that there then. I'm gonna replace that. I still have to order all the parts. So let's see, I need a slipper shaft. I need probably one more spur gear, because I only have one more extra one for my Stampede. I like to have 2 on hand. So slipper shaft, spur gear for my Stampede, probably a spur gear for my Slash, and then whatever gear is broken my Slash. My Stampede gets hot enough on the speed gearing to cook a 5-course meal on the motor. I bet. I mean, it gets so hot. And I got a heatsink on mine. It's crazy how hot they get. see if it's bent from the other way. Okay, that makes no sense. I put it on the other way before I had the drill on this side. Straight as an arrow. But if I put it on the other way, stand by. Well, okay. I think that might be why. Oh no, it's straight. Never mind. I didn't have it on all the way before. Yeah, that's straight. Okay, so don't need a slipper shaft. That's a good thing. Okay, so let's see. I'm down to spur gear, 2 spur gears, and then whatever gear I broke in my red slash. But I'm gonna put this back together since I know it's all good now. My stampede 4x4 runs 1 tooth above stock, and I have to run a heat sink. I used to run, I think stock for the VXL is an 11 tooth, but I started out with the brush model. So stock for me, I guess, is a 9 tooth, which I'm running right now because I have the upgraded diffs, which have a faster ratio. So it's basically an 11 tooth I'm running. Ooh, I need Loctite. I don't even know if I have any. I know I need to order some. I was just going to do that when I order all the parts that I need to fix all my cars. I don't know if I have a lot in here. Oh yeah, that's dry. Still got a little bit left. Alright, so that's ready to be put back in. Might as well tighten the motor screw while I'm at it. It's a lot easier to get to from here. Well, now that kind of makes me mad that I didn't just check and see if it was a spur gear, because it's only 1 screw to see, because then I could have kept driving my Stampede over the weekend. Put some Loctite on this. the amount of precision that is needed to put a set screw on a pinion gear is ridiculous. Because one wrong move and the pinion gear just slides on the shaft. Then the set screw falls in the gear case. Not fun. I want to make sure it's tight, but I really don't want to strip out the set screw. So I'm just going to go nice and slow. There we go. All right. My favorite. Alright, so now I'm just putting the gear cover back on. Oh, I never put the screws for the back. There we go. So once I'm done putting these screws in, we're gonna take apart the slash a little bit, I think. Just so I know what gear I need to order to fix it. Alright, 2 more. So I just need to put these 2 in. I'm missing 1 screw. I need to go find it. Alright, I found it. There we go. Alright, so now that the stampede is done, we're going to move on to the slash. So with the slash, it's really not that easy to get to the transmission. I haven't had to do this in a while too. Oh, that's tight. There we go. I always put Loctite on the nuts that hold the wheel and tire on, just because it stops them from coming loose. Alright, now I think I'm going to take the rear bumper off. How does this thing come off? I forgot. Oh yeah. love all this RPM stuff that I put on this car, but it makes disassembling kind of difficult sometimes. But they're very durable, so that's one trade-off they have to take. What drivers are those? This is a ProTech RC True Torque SL. It's like, feels like nothing, it's a feather. And then these are just cheap, it's a dynamite tool set. I would like to get a whole set of these, but they're like, I think $15 for just one. And you could get like a whole pack with like all like the 1.5, 2 mil, and then a 2.5 millimeter. And then you could get like the nut drivers and everything, but they're expensive, so I haven't done that yet. I think I'm going to soon though, because all of these are starting to like strip out, so. Okay, so I got the rear bumper off. Nope, one more screw. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws to take the rear bumper off. It's durable for sure, but that's a lot. I'm really not sure what gear is going to be broken in here. Really hope it's whatever the cheapest one is though. That's for sure. Okay, rear bumper's off. I forgot I have the RPM transmission housing. So there's nuts on top, right up here, that I have to get to take the trans off. And to get to those, I have to take the shock tower. No, to get to those, I have to take the top links off and the drive shaft off. But I can't do that without taking the shock tower off, but I can't do that without taking the body mount off. So pretty much I gotta take off the whole rear end. Do you race any of your cars? Nope. Never have. I wouldn't be opposed to trying it, but I bash my stuff and they don't really go straight. And they handle corners, like every corner differently. So I doubt if I did do it, I would be even good. So that's why I don't really do that. But there's a racetrack like 20 minutes from me, so I could do it if I really wanted to. I'm just putting these screws in the holes where they go in the rear bumper since there's so many. I don't want to forget where they go because I don't know how long this is going to take to fix because I got to wait on the parts. There, I'm missing one. Where does this last one go? Where does this one go? For me, racing scene is too toxic. I think I'll stick to bashing, plus there isn't Trax near me. Yeah, that's one thing with racing. You kind of get like all the tryhards, I guess. The That's what I hear a lot about it. But bashing's fun. You can't really just bash on a racetrack. I don't remember where the screw went. Where did it go? We got all those. Got all those. Was the screw even from the rear bumper? Seriously, where did this screw come from? Now I'm getting really confused. What? Oh well. Let's keep this moving. Because I don't want to be here all day. Oh, that's what it came off of. Okay. Wait, no. That's not it either. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I put the wrong screw in this hole. Yep, that's what it is. Okay. We back. Extra screw for the next time. Right? But I found where it goes, so we're good. So right now I'm just taking the shock tower off so that I can take the 4 bolts for the rear shock. No, I'm taking the body mount off right now. So then I can take the shock tower off. So then I can take the turnbuckles off. So then I can take the drive shafts off. So then I can undo the transmission. But if I had the stock transmission housing, then I could just take it off with 6 screws. Jeez. Okay. I'll just throw that zip tie on there. And I also put these screws back in the hole just a little bit so I don't lose them. That's a tip that a lot of you guys might not know. When you're working on stuff, I just put them in the hole that they belong in, or lay them out in a way that I'll remember on the workbench, so I remember where they go. Okay, so now I gotta take the shock tower off. Well, yeah, I do have to take the shock tower off. How's the audio? I haven't really asked that. Oh, my hands are getting tired. Audio is fine. Perfect. Can you guys even hear the charger in the background? Alright. Shock tower is off. You can hear the fan from it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's kind of loud. I'm just storage charging some batteries from the weekend, so. don't need to take off the turnbuckles. Okay. Or not turnbuckles, what are they called? Camber links. So now I need to take off the spur gear. So then I could get to the drive shaft. I've never blown out any transmission gears in my slashes. I've had two. Okay, well, I'll take that back. Colin blew out the gears in his Stampede that we just sold. He blew those gears out twice. But he used to run like a high gear ratio, so. That spins. That's what I'm confused about. If I spin the shaft, both of the hexes are spinning on each side. But it kind of feels like something's shaking around in there. So we'll see. So now I need to take off the drive shaft. Get that off. I haven't worked on this thing in so long. How long have you had your Techno M6 drive shafts for, and how are you liking them? I put a set on my Haas a few months ago. On this car, I've had them for maybe a little over 2 years, and I've never broken a single one. And then on a previous Slash that we owned, we put them on that car, never broke them. Or no, I'm thinking of the wrong car. On the Stampede that I was just talking about, the blue one, we had them on there, never broke one. And then I also have them on my Stampede 4x4, but I've broken one on that. But Techno has like this policy where you can return and get a free one if you break it. As long as it's not bent, they'll take it from you. So. Got the drive shaft off. Now I need to do the same thing on the other side. That's the one thing that I don't really like about Traxxas two-wheel drive trucks, is that on the back of it, that spur gear gets away. The spur gear and the gear cover gets away so frequently if you're trying to do any like suspension work on this side. You gotta take them off every single time. It's not exactly hard to do, but it gets kind of annoying. drive shafts are off. Now I need, let's see. Yeah, I can take off the trans now, finally. What I've been getting to. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. This is why it took so long. There's these nuts. So stock, the little ears for the suspension arms on the trans are built into the transmission. On the RPM one, the RPM transmission housing, they're separate and they bolt on separate. So there's the stock bolts right there on the bottom. These 4 bolt into the transmission ears. But with the RPM housing, they're separate. And they added these nuts on top to keep it all like super solid. But to get to those nuts, you have to take off everything around it, which is what I just did. So now, I don't even know what size those nuts are. I think they're 7 mil. Yeah, they're 7 millimeter, I think, but you can't even get a tool around it, so you have to use a pair of pliers and pull them while you undo the screw on the other side. I actually only have to take off the bottom 2. There's one. There's 2. So what kind of RC cars do you guys enjoy most? Bashing, crawling, boats, planes, racing? I'm between bashing and crawling. There's just nowhere for me to use my crawler, really. Okay. Transmission is out. We just need to unplug the motor. Oh, finally. Alright. The culprit right here. Yeah, that's not smooth at all. I don't even know if I have to take out the motor. Yeah, I do. Okay. Oh, I thought I almost stripped that for a second. I've been bashing mostly, but I do a little crawling with my SCX24. Nice. I was looking at getting one of those for a while, but I would really only use it in the winter indoors, so I just decided not to. Motor's out. Now I need to take off the motor plate, and that's what I really like about the RPM housing is the aluminum motor plate. I mean, that's really the only reason to get the RPM housing, unless you want like different colors than stock, because they sell it in a green and a blue. I have the black one, obviously. But yeah, that's really the only reason to get this housing. Because the stock motor, well, the the stock transmission, its motor plate is built in and it's plastic. I mean, it basically melts sometimes, especially if you're running brushless. If you're running brush, I mean, it's fine, but with brushless, it just don't last. Alright, motor plate is off. I'm gonna put these in it so that I don't lose them. Okay, cool. Now I need to do 2 bolts. Yep, 2. Then we can see what gear I need to replace. What's up, Bulgar RC? I haven't seen you in one of my videos in a while. Or in a live stream at least. Just doing some wrenching on my Slash. Trying to figure out what gear I stripped in the trans. Which we're gonna find out right now. You made it just in time. Oh, one more bolt. I'm hoping it's the cheapest gear in the transmission. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's look at the diff first, I guess. Doesn't look like it's the diff. That looks all good. Let's look at the idle gear and the main gear. Those look fine too. So then what is it? Yeah, everything's fine. What? Been busy, bro, seeing notifications, so I thought I'd drop in for a minute. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Alright, now I'm really confused. They couldn't have been the spur gear doing that. Because the spur gear wasn't in the best condition. Yeah, that's smooth now. Well, I just have to take it apart and put it back together and it's fine. Diff internals then? Nope, they're fine too. I checked that right away. That's smooth. I mean, the spur gear isn't in the best condition, but it's in good enough condition. It didn't even move. That's the thing. You guys saw it earlier in the live stream if you were here. I plugged the battery in and it would not move. I think. Wait, was it moving? Max, or Nav A, you were here. Do you remember if it was moving or not? When I plugged the battery in? I don't remember. And there's only like one flat spot. Just very slight. But nothing that could have caused the truck to not move at all. I mean, everything was fine. Wonder if the pinion is loose on the motor shaft. Nope, that's fine too. Now what could it be? Should I just put it back together and hope for the best? Let's take one more peek. to the drive gear. And there's not even like metal shavings in the trans. Like those two gears are fine. No issues there. The diff looks just fine too. Slipper loose. No, it wasn't loose either. Even if it was loose, like it sounded like something was grinding. If it was just loose, it would have just sounded like it was spinning. It sounded like it was grinding. It sounded just like the spur gear was going out. But I mean, it is going out, but it's didn't move at all. So that's why I'm curious as to why it's not the trans. You sure the motor didn't move a bit and lose contact between the pinion and spur? I don't think it did. No, I don't think it did because both of the bolts were tight. I remember because I almost stripped them out, taking them out. Well, I'm just gonna, I guess I'll put the transmission back together and see what it feels like, because that's not much work, just to put it back together. Bad news. Well, what happened? So I'm just doing a live stream fixing my RCs. Right now I'm working on my Slash VXL. And I'm not really sure what happened, to be completely honest. So I was going to make a video. It was like a night run video in a gravel pit, because I thought it would be cool with like the light bar and everything that I have on the body for my Slash. But 5 minutes into filming, it sounded like and felt like the spur gear went out. And it would not move at all, no matter how much throttle I applied. So at that point, the video was scrapped. I just deleted all the scenes that I had. Actually, I don't even think I had any scenes. So I just stopped filming, went back home, and that was it. Because I thought it was just a spur gear, and I didn't feel like replacing it, because then it'd be too dark to drive the car. So now I discovered that it really wasn't the spur gear. This is the spur gear that I just took out. And it's not in great shape, but it's not in the shape that I was expecting. It's in better shape than I was expecting, I should say. There's no reason why it wasn't moving if I'm just looking at the spur gear. Because if it wasn't moving at all, there'd be no teeth on the spur gear. But there is teeth. They're not in the best shape, but they're still teeth. So I don't know why it wouldn't move at all. So now I tore into the transmission too, and nothing's wrong in there. Slipper pads. Oh, they're good. The the slipper was tight too. My slasher's doing the same. It's weird. Because I really thought it would be the spur gear, but it could be. It really could be. Just doesn't make sense why it was not moving at all. And it sounded like it was grinding. Or maybe I just didn't see that the I think it's the diff internals because it could still spin smooth with just the one missing somewhere. You do have a point. Yeah, that is true. Alright. Now I want to see if it's actually the internals, because I think I have extra internals that I could swap in. I didn't really think about that. Taking it back apart. If it is the internals, I mean, no, never mind. Oh, loose. I think one of those screws are stripped. That's cool. I might be able to just look at it. So I just ordered new slipper pads for no reason. That happens sometimes. I know I've done that before. Order something that you don't really need because you thought you needed it. Oh yeah, that bolt's fine. I keep calling them bolts, they're screws. Alright. Let's see if it was actually the internals. not seeing anything too significant. That all looks fine to me. Yeah, that all looks fine. Alright, so it wasn't that. Might as well throw some grease in there. Haven't done that in years. Yes, I know it's not a sealed diff. Do as I say, not as I do. I can't even get this on. There we go. Alright. So it wasn't the internals. All the gears in the trans are fine. The only thing that doesn't look perfect is the spur gear. I might just throw all this back together and put a different spur gear on, a brand new one, and see if it's better. Alright. Diff is back together. I'm gonna throw it back in the truck, or in the trans. Yeah, that's smooth. I'm starting to think it's just this spur gear. Should probably grease that. Probably put a little bit too much, honestly. But it's fine. Now I'm just gonna throw the trans back together. Okay, got that on. Now I need to do the motor plates. I really wasn't expecting the stream to be going this long, honestly. I thought I'd just have to check and see if the spur gear. I thought I'd just have to fix the broken spur gear on this, and then check and see if the diff was broke on my Stampede. Going a little bit longer than expected, that's for sure. Feel free to ask me questions too, guys. I feel like all I've done is turn screws and turn screws and turn screws. Because that is what I've done. I think I'm going to throw a new spur on that. So let me put the motor back in. I need Loctite. Almost forgot. How long have you been in RC for? Almost 7 years. I've been doing this channel though for probably around 3 years, just under 3 years. We've been making videos since, I want to say summer of 2018, but we actually made this account and this channel in December of 2018. And that's when our first video was posted. What was your guys' first RC car? Mine was a Stampede 2-wheel drive. I actually don't even have it anymore. No, I actually guess I kind of do. So my first Stampede 2-wheel drive, I obviously didn't maintain it because it was my first RC. I had no clue what I was doing. And eventually it just got to the point where I think like an ESC or something went on it, and I just bought a whole new car because I didn't know that like you could do that and like get individual parts or something. So basically I got a whole new car because I didn't want to pay for another expensive part or something crazy like that. So I had two Stampedes, 2-wheel drive, and I turned my original one into a parts car, just took it all apart and put it in bins so that I had extra parts for my second Stampede. And then after that I got my 2-wheel drive Slash. It was actually a Ford Raptor. Or what? Yeah, it was that. It was a Ford Raptor. And then that one slowly turned into my red Slash. Then after that, I got my Stampede 4x4 brush, and I converted it to brushless and did all that, which is what it is today. Then I got my TRX for Sport. And after upgrading my after upgrading my Ford Raptor to be a slash, like a fully maxed out slash, I had a ton of spare parts, chassis, suspension arms, like a ton. So that's where I built my other slash, which was a bash slash project, which there's some videos on this channel, but I converted that to my red slash. So now I just have one slash. It's very confusing. Basically, I upgraded my car so much, and I changed out so many things that I had a ton of spare parts, and that's where I got my Trax Build, and that's how I got my second slash that I used to have. My first car was a standard 4x4 brush that I converted to brushless. Nice. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. It's expensive though. If I were to do it over again, I would have just gotten an armed granite, but the granite was not out when I got my Stampede. Alright, so I got the motor in. That's smooth. Now I'm going to change out the spur. I'm probably just gonna get this on, and then I think we might be done with the stream a little bit. Because I really don't want to go through all the hassle of putting this on again. I'm starving. I haven't ate any dinner. It's 6 o'clock where I am. Alright, so there's the old spur gear. It's not in an awful condition. I don't really know if I want to throw. Oh no, it is in bad condition. Never mind. I don't really know what happened, because from that shot right there, you guys can see that like this side on the edge is a lot higher, whereas on this side, the camera's not even focusing. Focus. Come on. There, you can see on this side, it's a lot higher on the edge. Come on, focus. There we go. So yeah, I don't really know. Clearly the pinion gear, clearly it's stripped a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out. And this is a 86 tooth, and I know I got an extra one of those. Let me grab that. I got my X Max as my second RC, and I definitely had it a lot to learn when I got it. Oh, when you first got it. Yeah, I mean, the X-Max, it's a pretty intense RC, not gonna lie. I mean, that's really like with any new RC. You got a lot to learn. Like my friend's Granite, we broke it when we were driving it in a video that's gonna be coming out soon that I filmed yesterday. We broke it and I fixed it, but I never worked on a Granite, so I didn't really know what to do. I ended up figuring it out, thankfully, but yeah, working on a car that you've never worked on, it's confusing. So right now I'm just throwing new spur gear on. What do you guys want to see on the channel? Because I'm running out of video ideas. I pretty much have done everything that I want to do. I think I got like 2 more ideas. But after that, I don't really got anything. I can make Stampede videos. I really want to get back into making crawler videos. There's really no reason for me not to. Just crawler videos don't really get a ton of views on my channel, which I'm trying to grow my channel. So of course I want views. But yeah, that's why I haven't really been making any crawler videos. And crawler videos are so much easier to make than bashing videos. That's for sure. I really think that editing videos is the most fun though. Oh, I can't really take this down. That's just spinning. Huh. Oh, that's why it's just spinning. I never put that. Oh, how am I gonna get that off? Oh, I might have messed up. Oh, that's a bum. How am I gonna get that off? So basically, I forgot to put this on the back of the clutch. And there's no friction for me to get the nut off that I already started. Oh, there we go, I got it. Rookie mistake, rookie mistake. Okay. Got that on. I need to set the gear mesh. So let me do that right now. Now when I set gear mesh, I know that there's a lot of different ways that people do it. A lot of people just put a sheet of notebook paper through it and then just press down super hard. I actually don't like doing that at all. I used to do it, but I still think it doesn't give you the right gear mesh. So what I do is I basically eyeball it and listen. So you want them to be far enough apart so that they don't grind together and cause all the heat. but you don't want them to be too far apart that the teeth will just strip out on the plastic spur gear. So like this, and also a good sign, if you can wiggle the spur gear back and forth, it's good. So right there it's good, but you want to check around the whole thing because sometimes the plastic isn't molded correctly. So like right there, there's a lot of play, but over here, there's not a lot. And that's just the formation of the plastic spur when they're making it. It's not 100% perfectly straight. But right here, I think is perfect for my gear mesh. So I'm just gonna leave it right there. But I need to tighten up these a little bit more with a different tool because this one's starting to strip out. Alright, got the gear mesh set. I think that's really it for the trans. You might as well hook up a battery and plug this into the ESC and we can see if it's smooth or not. Or makes any noise or any of that. Doesn't hurt, so I don't end up installing all this for it not to work. Alright, I need to go get a battery. Oh, I need the remote too. Oh, please work. That's fine. That's perfect. Perfect. Alright. So that's all good. Can't believe that little nick in the spur gear caused this thing to not move. The motor had to have moved away from the spur. Had to have. And I just missed it. That's had to have. That's probably what happened. Alright. Can't put that on. I need to put the trans back on the rear of the chassis. So let's see, right now I have to order another spur gear for this so that I have more extras because I just used the spare. So a spur gear for this, a spur gear for my Stampede, and that's it. Easy. I really thought that I would have to be buying new diffs and all that. I'm definitely glad about that. I was ready to drop $100 on new parts. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like under 30, because I also need zip ties and Loctite. I need to put those on. I forgot about that. So right now I'm just putting the transmission back on the rear of the chassis. Then after that, I could work on putting like the shock tower and drive shafts and the suspension arms back on. Okay, so another thing that I'm not understanding about Traxxas, why don't they update any of their stuff? I mean, the Slash hasn't changed platforms, or like, hasn't been updated in years since its release. Same with the Stampede 4x4. Like, all of them could be such better cars if they would just update them. But no, they just think changing bodies every few weeks is considered an update in a new product. But they still charge way more than the competition. I just don't understand it. That's why I'll probably never get another Traxxas. Not because I don't like them. I do like them. I just can't justify anymore spending that much for an RC that could do the same thing from Arma, but sometimes, in some cases, better and a lot cheaper. If you're talking about like their 3S lineup, which is what I would get. If we're talking 6S, then Traxxas is probably beat there. Alright, put the trans back on. Now you gotta figure out which way is straight for this. With all these wires wrapped up. Okay. So that goes on with that. I need to put the... Oh, come on, I need to take the spur gear off. I need to take the spur gear off, I think. I might be able to get away without doing that. There we go. I threw my flashlight on my camera. Get you guys a little bit more light. I thought I had it on this whole time. Yeah, I need to take the spur gear off. Dang it. I think that Arma is a good brand, but I think that their ADAS vehicles are kind of bad based on how easy they break. I haven't really heard much about their ADAS vehicles. I don't really listen to like that much RC stuff. I don't even watch RCs on YouTube. I kind of just do my own thing with mine and worry about mine only. So I haven't really heard much about them. But I do think that Arma has a lot of potential with their 4S and under. Their 6S cars, I probably would never get one, even though I do think they look awesome. but I like to beat on my stuff, and they just need too many upgrades. So now I can put that on the drive cup. Need more lock too. Come on. I'm so low on Loctite, it doesn't even want to come out of the bottle. There we go. Alright, now I could do this. We're starting to get a move on now. Starting to look like a slash again. I would like to get a 4S Outcast, but Arma said they're going to release a 4S EXP Trax, so I'm waiting for those. I really want a 4S Creighton or Outcast. I'm probably leaning towards the Creighton. I would consider selling this car and like my trash P build to get one of those. I would consider it. I've never sold an RC though, because like I'm emotionally attached to these things, and you just don't get your money back with them. Especially for this one. I mean, it's fully maxed out. The only stock parts on it are the shock bodies and the shock towers, I think. But that's about it. Everything else has been changed. And I could probably only get like 300 for this thing. So just ain't worth it. To me at least. And the body mounts are stock. I forgot about that. Do you know when they're going to be releasing the EXPs for the 4S? I wish that they would bring back the regular like RTRs though, because I would probably get that over an EXP. Nah, I would actually probably get the EXP, so I can have better electronics. Because you know, Arma and their servos, those don't go well in the same sentence. Although my friend's still running the stock servo in his Granite. No issues there. Dude, I need some longer tools. They never said when, they just hinted at it on social media. Christmas RTR4S. I really would like to see them bring those back. Dude, why don't this tool stay? if I were to get one of the Armor 4S, I mean, I had my Stampede for a stunt car. I mean, it does great flips and all that, so that's why I think I would be leaning a little bit more towards the Creighton. Because I want something that could be a little bit faster, because my Stampede doesn't really handle top speed all that well. So that's why I think I would be leaning a little bit more towards the Creighton. Alright, got that all on. Drive shaft's on, suspension arms on. Now I need to do the shock tower. Honestly, if they, like, if I don't like that, like what they do with the Creighton for us when it comes out again, I might consider just the Vortex 3S. I really like that thing. Really like it. Or granite. Can't go wrong with the granite, that's for sure. If they made a granite 4S, that would be awesome. They made it. Okay, I hope that they come out with the 4S Creighton, 4S Outcast, 4S Granite. What else is there? Why not? A 4S Vortex. I think that's all of them. Well, they already have a 4S Outcast, just not the EXP version. Well, all of the 4S Outcast and the 4S Creighton, you can't find them anywhere. So I think that they discontinued it, if I'm correct. I'm not exactly sure. So that's why I'm saying, if they do like re-release them or something, I think that they should add a granite in there. I need to put the body mount back on. Can't see the screw. There we go. Nope, missed. Got it. So right now I'm just doing the body mount, and then I think after that I'm basically done. I just gotta put the spur gear back on, and then the gear cover, the rear bumper, and the tires. So I got the hard stuff done. Alright, spur gear. Alright. One thing that impresses me a lot about this Slash is that on 2S, it's faster than my Stampede 4x4 on 2S. I mean, this thing handles good on 2S too. I don't even drive this thing on 3S anymore because it's just too out of control. This is a 2S platform and it's perfect for it. It jumps well on 2S. On 3S, it's just going up a ramp. So, I don't even drive it on 3S anymore. Got the gear cover, right? Yeah. Hi all, new to the channel, just picked up my first Slash today, 2-wheel drive DXL. Awesome. That's what I'm working on right now. Although mine's probably a little bit different from yours. I got a few upgrades. Just a few, you know, not too many. Alright, put it on the rear bumper. LOL was watching your upgrades video and saw you were live. Yep. That video has done so well. I'm assuming that you were watching the first 10 upgrades, not the first 5. Because the first 5 for the Slash, that one was for the brushed model. And then I made that, so that video did so well, I made the same video but for the brushless Slash. Because they really do need different parts because the brushless has so much more power. So the first 5 upgrades is for the brush model, and then the first 10 upgrades video that I made is for the brushless model. Because the brushless does need a lot more than the brush. So that's why I made 2. So I'm assuming that you came from the first 10 upgrades. Alright, got the gear cover on, got the start of the bumper on, I need to finish doing that, and then I just need to put the tires on. Oh, did I forget something? No, I didn't. Alright, we're good. False alarm. Yeah, I pretty much have every single RPM upgrade for this. The only stock parts on this slash VXL is, let's see, shock bodies, shock shafts, shock towers, body mounts, the VXL system was not stock because this started as a brush model, so that's upgraded. Receiver box is stock. Notice your servo position. Are you running an LCD chassis? Yes, I am. So much better than stock chassis. So much better. It looks better. It drives so much better. It makes it jump better. It's more durable, I think. Only downside is it gets a little bit more dirty in there, but so much better than the stock one. That whole stripped out. So, a little trick here for the new slash owners that are watching. Basically, you're gonna strip holes. It's just a given with any new Traxxas vehicle. So I have a hole stripped right here, and I'm gonna get some super glue to fix it. So I got the super glue. Then I'm just gonna put some on the thread of the screw that's going into the stripped hole. Oh. I just noticed the, what's this called? The bit for my driver is loose. Alright, so back to where I was. If you put, this is only for plastic too, because you can't put Loctite on a plastic thread, it just won't work. So what I do is super glue. You put super glue on the thread for the screw that's going into that plastic. Of course, this is all dried up. So dried up. I need to cover the top. Oh, the inside is dried up. Okay, I need to do one more. Lots of comments. What's up, man? I'm new to the hobby. My slash 4x4 VXL is only lasting about a good 15-20 minutes on battery per charge. I don't know if that's like the lifespan. I'm trying to think. A new /4x4. Yeah, what size, what's the milliamp hour rating on your battery? It would be, like this one is a 5800 milliamp hour pack. What's that rating on your battery? Because that impacts the, I don't even have my microphone on. I don't even know if I was recording all that. So, Alfonso de Nova, what's the milliamp hour rating on your battery? Because that impacts the lifespan or the runtime of the battery. So the higher that number, the more runtime you get. Running Traxxas QS batteries 7. Oh, okay, so that's a big leg up. Yeah, that's definitely not right. Definitely check your temps. Yeah, that's not right at all. If you're, like, so next time you drive your car, put your hand on the motor or ESC. If it's really hot, then maybe change the gearing if you've upgraded that at all. I'm assuming you have. Well, if you're new to the hobby, I don't know if you would. Because I don't know, I didn't. If your temps are really hot, then that will impact your runtime, basically. Alright, so got the super glue on the thread of the screw, and then if you put that in the stripped hole, it should hold. I just dropped the screw and I have no clue where it went. Well, it heard something drop. I'm not seeing anything on the ground. That was weird. I could have sworn I just heard something fall off the workbench onto the ground. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Oh well, if I'm missing something, at least I know where it is. Where does this bolt go? Or screw? I'm calling them bolts. Oh, it goes right there. Stock gearing out of the box. I'm thinking about temps being an issue, but I wasn't sure if it affected lifespan. I bought some hot racing fans from Amazon for both the ESC and motor. I'm hoping that's it. I mean, yeah, temps do affect the runtime, but it shouldn't, like, I don't know. For that big of a battery, it should be a lot longer than like 30 minutes. Because this one, with this RC, probably last, I mean, upwards of 30 for sure. Well, you got a 4x4 slash, so that one's going to be a little bit less if you're running the same battery that I had, because the more like gears and stuff they have to turn, that's less more resistance, so that also draws more energy. But still, I mean, you should be looking at more than 30 minutes for runtime with that big of a pack, I think. At least from my experiences. Did you quick charge or balance charge? I don't know if that affects the life. I don't think that affects the life of it either. I've never used the quick charge feature on my Traxxas charger. I always use balance charge because that's a lot better for the pack itself, because if you just do quick charge, it's just going to bring all the cells up. If you do balance charge, it's going to bring all the cells up, and it's going to make sure that they're balanced, which is the most important part of LiPo batteries. Alright, rear bumper's on, got that on. You plug in the motor. So you do balance charge all the time, okay. But other than the fans that you're gonna install, is your car 100% stock? Just throwing tires on. Big tires, and that's about it. Put on Badlands, I believe that's what it is. Oh yeah. Oh wait, are they the? So these are Badlands too, but do you have like the big ones that are meant for like a Stampede that are 2.8s, or do you have 2.2s? Because if you have 2.8s, then yeah, because that will just affect the temps. But if you have like these size, the tiny ones, then that won't affect anything either. Yeah, if you have these, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But if you have the big Badlands, the MX28s, 2.8s, with the stock gearing, then that's what's raising your temps. And you can run those tires, but you just got to gear down to accommodate for the higher ratio that gives. Alright. Finally, one battery's done. Been storage charging this whole time. That's think I just stripped my tool. Nope, alright, I thought I stripped my tool for a second. 2.8 tires, should I be going down in size? Because I thought that they were a little too big for what I got. Because I thought they were a little too big when the guy at the shop said they would be okay. There's nothing wrong with running 2.8 tires on a short course. You just have to change the gearing to accommodate for the big tire size. I mean, I used to run those tires on this car. So you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. You just need to change the gearing. I don't know what the stock pinion size is on a /4x4 VXL. I think that's what you have. Let me look back up in the comments. Yeah, okay. So on your /4x4 VXL, I'm not exactly sure what the stock pinion size is, but whatever it is, I would drop it down like 2 to 3 teeth, and you should be fine. Alright, I think this thing is put back together. Let's plug in the battery and see. Oh my god, if this does not work. Solid. Nice. Alright. So I think that's gonna be it for this. Got the stampede working, I think. Did I get it working? I don't know. We could plug a battery into that one too and see. I don't even remember. How long had this been going for? 2 hours. Jeez. I was expecting this to be like a 45-minute stream. Okay, I need to plug a battery in. Let's see if I got this one working, because I honestly don't even remember. Nothing. Oh, that's the wrong remote, that's why. Yeah, my fan's broken. Okay, got the right remote this time. Perfect. Nice. Both cars are working. Let's go. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for the stream, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely hit that like button. It'll help out a lot. Gives me a boost in the YouTube algorithm. So definitely share my channel with others if you did enjoy this video. And as always, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I got a few coming up soon, so like I said though, I'm trying for 1 video a week. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Should be coming out this Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Alright, see ya.